Hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager. I'm here for our regular monthly update, although this seems to be a combined one. I was a little late in October getting together, and so we're going to call this our October-November update. I guess everybody knows fall is here. It's been great weather for the past several weeks. I hope that'll continue on, but it does show the change of the season, and I hope you're enjoying that. It is a nice part of North Carolina of having the different seasons, whether you're a fall, winter, spring, or summer person. If you're here, eventually that season will show up. So fall's here, and we look forward to that extending out, at least I do, a few more weeks and months. The holidays are coming from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas, so I hope you're preparing for that and will enjoy the time with your family and friends. Think of those in the community in need, because there's certainly a lot of those. But the holidays are coming, and normally that's a good time for many of us. City Council priorities, appearance of the community continues to be high on their list, and again, that's one of those things that we see as city employees on a daily basis, and I know you do as residents. We're trying to address those areas that are city responsibility and encourage property owners to take care of their property as well. I would just encourage you, where you can make your property look better, to please do that. If you see an area that you think is somebody else's to take care of, if you'd report that to us, we'll try to make sure that gets addressed. You can call us, my office, 580-4330, 580-4330, or you can report it on our 311 GIS system. So it's www.311gis.com, and either one of those will get a response in terms of addressing the situation that you've seen. A State of the City article ran recently in the News Argus. I think the article is fairly accurate, and my real comment in talking with our reporter was the economy in Goldsboro, I think, is better and improving. It always can be better, but based on the new businesses here and new things going on and construction activity around, and in talking with other managers across the state, it is better here in Goldsboro and Wayne County than it is in other parts of our state, and I think we're fortunate in that regard. Would we like there to be some more? Absolutely. But overall, I think we're doing very well in this community, and I hope you are part of that group that's doing well here as well. A lot of activity over the last several weeks, and some projects I'd like to update you on. We've had a group called the Friends of Willowdale Cemetery working for a few years, actually, to try to raise funds to improve the appearance in some of the cemetery plots within Willowdale, but also trying to assemble some property that is adjacent to Willowdale Cemetery, and that is really coming to fruition. They have worked to raise funds and purchase properties, and have almost assembled the entire corner from John Street going down Elm over into the cemetery. And again, with very few parcels, they have worked and provided funds, and the city now owns all the parcels along Elm Street from John to Willowdale, so there are 3 homes there and a number of vacant lots, but the city does own all of those. We'll be removing those 3 structures very soon. There's a wooded area. We'll be clearing out the underbrush of that underbrush of the trees there, with the idea of how would we incorporate that into the cemetery, and hiring a cemetery planner to talk with us about what might the best use of that property be. We'll be going down John Street. There's at least 1 home that we own, another one we're trying to acquire, and a few more in that area that we have got that are city owned that we can remove or relocate at a later time. So we're also working with folks that own the industrial properties in that area in terms of donations, and many are willing to give those properties. It's a matter of cost of cleanup and environmental issues, so we're finalizing that. And then just south of all of that, we have recently acquired the General Industries property. They donated that to the city. It is a Brownsfield site. The environmental issues there are known and not a danger to the public with uses on top of the ground, meaning we wouldn't have water supply wells at that location. We did remove that building, and so trying to improve the appearances along that portion of our community as well, and some benefit to the cemetery in the long term. But I do want to say thank you to the Friends of Willowdale for their time, effort, and their money in terms of pulling this project together. Goldsboro MPO has spent the past 8 or 9 months developing a bicycle, pedestrian, and greenway plan. That draft plan was presented to council in October. It is out for public comment until November 14th. You can get information on it in the document. It's a very thick document, details a lot of greenways and pedestrian bike paths within our MPO area, which is certainly well outside the city limits of Goldsboro. That plan is out for comment, and again, you can take a look at that either by coming to our office if you need to, or you can go on our city's website and find it that way, or directly to the website where the document is, or you can make comments. And the website would be www.goldsboro.greenway.weebly.com. So goldsboro.greenway.weebly.com would get you to the actual document if you want to go directly there, or you can access that through the city's website. Some months ago, the mayor and council asked about the status of children, particularly hungry children in our community, and I think they were really surprised as we have looked into information and data that's out there that suggests there are a lot of kids in our community that are hungry on a regular basis. And so that has become a very important priority for the mayor and city council. Thus, our staff is working to find out what resources are in the community, and thus far we found there are a lot of resources in the community, just trying to coordinate that, those resources, and see what's there, and maybe try to help figure out what's needed to fill in the gaps. Because again, hungry children have all sorts of issues, from not being able to pay attention in school to not thinking there's a better life somewhere, and again, really concerns me that would be going on in Goldsboro, and we know it is. So how do we help address that and make it so that we don't have children that are hungry in our community? So more to come on that. If you want to be involved on that, please don't hesitate to contact my office, and we'll get you plugged into working with us and other agencies out there to help reverse that trend here. Council approved a safety coordinator position for us back in September. Just want to share, I think our staff is doing a great job in terms of safety. The safety coordinator position really is just to refocus that effort and make sure that, one, we're protecting our staff from any kind of injuries, because we do a lot of things that are hazardous, but also protecting you as the public that travels in and around our work zones or around our vehicles that are operating. We've had a safety coordinator position in the past. As that person moved on, we didn't fill the position. We passed the duties on, and again, I think it really is an important enough area that we need to have somebody focused on that all the time as a resource, and also as somebody, a trainer and then an enforcer, in terms of making sure that we're doing things in the safest manner possible. And so that was really the impetus behind that, and just wanted to make sure you're aware that's going on. We want our employees to be safe. We also want to make sure when you're traveling around us, we're doing all we can to make it as safe as possible as well. We have a Fire and Police Explorer program. Both programs do very well in terms of interest from youth and involving them in the department's activities and trying to help kids in either area understand the operations of the police or fire department. Our Fire Explorers are a newer organization, and I'm pretty excited to have that group of kids involved and active. And I will tell you, they're competing on a regional basis, and every time they go out of town to compete, they come back with a lot of first place trophies. So I just want to say congratulations to that group, to be a fairly young and new group, and they are very motivated and really taking it to heart, and it shows where they're moving across the state and other areas in the competition. So I just want to recognize their efforts and thank them for that. I did have the opportunity to go on a Habitat Build Day with city department heads. I will tell you, you've got a good group here that are pretty good with a hammer and nail. I want to thank Habitat and the organization, but the bigger thing is talking with the homeowner and seeing the appreciation and the desire to be a homeowner and be part of the Goldsboro community, this being an opportunity for them. And they have to put a lot of time and effort into it. They also have to put their money into it. I think Habitat's number said over the years and working, they have generated another $55,000 a year in property taxes for the city in terms of all their property owners. So it is a good program, and I want to thank our department heads for spending a day out there swinging and hammering, nailing, and putting up framing walls. So again, good day of that, but a good organization. I would encourage you, if you're able to volunteer or participate, they would certainly be able to work you in. Our multi-sports complex, just want to let you know the discussions are still going on with that, with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, entryway off Oak Forest Road, with the ultimate goal of having 8 fields, 4 of them of some type of artificial turf. Soccer being a driver of this multi-sports complex, but really geared to any kind of field sports or turf sport. Still working through that. We'd hope to have a lease signing toward the end of October. That is making it through the process, and it is under review, and I think it'll be closer towards the end of the year, but we're still moving forward with that. Council did award the design work for that project at a recent meeting, and with a caveat that we hold off any work until we get the lease signed. We want to make sure we have the lease signed before we start obligating or expending any city funds towards that project. But still a very exciting project, I believe, for the community, very exciting project for the Air Force, and I think you'll hear more of that coming in the near future. We have had some concerns expressed by the Oak Forest residents, and again, it is across the street from many of them, and I think part of that is us just not communicating that information well enough to the neighbors that live there, and we've reached out and hope to be able to share that information. And I would certainly encourage anybody that has questions about this project not to hesitate to give me a call. We would be happy to meet one-on-one or with groups of people, or whatever the best way is to make sure you see or understand what the vision is for this facility. And it will be a very high-end facility in terms of a tournament space for our kids to play on and practice on during the week, but the idea of attracting tournament play through the weekends throughout much of the year. So more to come on that, but I just want to let you know it's still moving along. Our Christmas parade for this year is slated for December 6th at 4 o'clock, so that's Saturday, December 6th at 4 o'clock. It is the Chamber and the city are organizing together to pull that together, so I want to say thank you to the Chamber for their partnership in that. We've really designated Linda Braswell, who's probably the friendliest person that works for the city of Goldsboro, as our contact person. So if you have any questions about the Christmas parade, I would certainly encourage you to call Linda. She's at 580-4362. Again, 580-4362 from 8 to 5. Linda would be happy to answer any questions. If you'd rather email her, she is lbraswell at goldsboronc.gov. And again, questions of how we work the process of where it's going, she would be able to answer that. I do have a parade route, and we'll show this to you just so you can see. It's a little different in terms of the route from last year just due to the construction downtown, but in theory or in concept, we're going to start at the police fire complex at the south end of Center Street. We're going to travel northwards on Center Street to the lane that's not under construction, and TA Loving has assured us that we won't interfere with their construction schedule, and the street, at least the northbound side of Center Street, would be open to the parade, so we will do that. We will have folks come in front of City Hall, circle through the southern part of the traffic circle there at Ash and Center, come back down to City Hall. The parade will then turn left on Mulberry, we'll turn right on John Street, and we'll continue down John until it passes the police fire complex and disperses. So the route is a little different, but I do want to let you know it is on go for downtown. I hope you'll come be a part of that. In the past, we've allowed vehicles to park along the street. This year, we're going to discourage that and try to have a vehicle-free route just in the Center Street area because of construction work that's going on. That would limit the ability for the parade to move and people to pass as well. So we're going to try to leave it for all pedestrian space. And then on John Street, I think you just have a better view of the parade as it passes. So that'll be the message we're sending out to the community and trying to, again, from the routing will be on Center Street, over to Mulberry, down John, and moving vehicles off the street. So more to come on that, but I hope you'll get excited and put that on your calendar and come enjoy the downtown Christmas parade here in Goldsboro on December 6th at 4 o'clock. A few other projects and things that are going on in the community. Wayne Memorial Median Project is well underway at this time. I expect that'll be completed in another 4 weeks, so sometime in November that project should wrap up. Wayne Memorial is a State Department of Transportation roadway, so our State Department of Transportation is the organization that is contracted in doing this work. They are doing it at the request of City Council, and our City Council really looking at traffic issues around the community and recognizing US 70 opening, or the new bypass of US 70 opening at the other end of Wayne Memorial in 2 years. The Wayne Memorial corridors are going to become a more important way in and out of Goldsboro. It's going to carry more and more traffic, and safety concerns continue to worry us along that in terms of moving traffic and left turn movements into businesses and out of businesses. So the medians, although inconvenient while being constructed from 11th up to Country Day Road, we ask for your patience through the construction. Please call if you see areas of concern. But the intent is to make that corridor safer and more efficient and able to carry more vehicles. So the traffic that's there today, plus what we expect in the future, is able to progress through that area in the best manner, as well as service to our businesses. And again, if people are unsafe in an area or concerned about an area and don't know how to get to your business, they're less apt to come. And study after study will show once these medians are in place and people adjust to them, that the business in the area does as well after as it did before the median. So I hope that's the experience we have here, but I do appreciate your patience, and our intent is to make it safer for those of us that live here and travel that corridor on a regular basis. Don't want to forget our downtown projects, our Tiger projects that are progressing. TA Loving continues to work well on the Center Street project. Daniels and Daniels still continues to make progress on the Gateway Bus Transfer Center and the Walnut Street streetscape improvements. We'll have more, maybe pictures as later as that moves on, and other regular updates from the construction managers themselves on the city's website. So I would encourage you, if you want to know the latest information, to go there. But those projects are moving along well at this time. W.A. Foster, I haven't talked to a recreation center. I haven't talked about that in a little while, but I do want to let you know we have awarded the design build contract to TA Loving. That they are under design in terms of making the building plans for that facility, and I hope we're under construction in early 2015. And as with that date finalizes, we'll be back in touch and talk to you more about that. But again, it's moving along very well. Our logo of Goldsboro, Be More, Do More, See More, that is, I hope you're seeing it in more and more places. We've put it on the Harris Street water tank. We'll probably put it on other water tanks as we go forward in time. We've put it on city vehicles. It's coming out in emails and letterhead. We also have bumper stickers and license plates, and these license plates, if you'd like to have one, are available at City Hall. Again, we're selling them at $1.50. Our intent is not to make money on them. It's really just to recover our costs, and it's just under $1.50 to produce them. So at $1.50, we'd love for you to have them if you're interested in that, and you can come to City Hall and our finance department or water department and purchase these. So again, I hope that I've heard a lot of good comments about this, and I would encourage you to be part of that and display that and be proud of Goldsboro in your community. I think we all are, and I hope you'll do your part as well. Again, as we said before on the logo and motto, we really hope it becomes a community, not a city government logo. Finally, just in some activities, I would send you to our website, and always updates through Facebook and other areas, but just some of the things that I at least want to highlight as we're coming through. There's a 5K run sponsored by city employees November 8th at Stony Creek Park, and it'll be an evening run into dusk, so it starts at 4 p.m. at Stony Creek Park. Just be a different experience, and I would encourage you to come be part of it. That'll be a different race route. I would encourage you to come out and participate that if you're into running or want to experience Stony Creek Park in a different way. And although 4 o'clock doesn't feel very dark yet, by the end of the run, I think it'll be pretty close. With the time change and all coming in November, 4 o'clock p.m. at Stony Creek on November 8th will have a different feel, and I would just encourage you to come be part of that. Our farmers market at Herman Park Center continues to operate on Wednesdays, and they're going to operate through November 26th, so you still have about a month left, or at least the month of November, to visit the farmers market, and I would encourage you to do that. Community campfires, an effort our Parks and Rec department started some years ago, but November 7th they will be in Fairview Park. November 14th they'll be at Stony Creek, and November 21st they'll be at Mena Well, and they're there at 8 to 9 p.m. with campfires and stories and marshmallows, and I would certainly encourage you, if you haven't done that. Last year when I visited a few of those, they seemed to be very well attended, and they were certainly a nice use of our park facilities as well. So again, November 7th at Fairview, November 14th at Stony Creek, November 21st at Mena Well, and then o'clock and running for about an hour, so from 8 to 9 p.m. Again, the Christmas parade, December 6th at 4 o'clock. Lights up downtown, November 25th at 5 to 7. Would encourage you to come be outside of City Hall and celebrate as we light up downtown for Christmas. And Veterans Day parade, and certainly thank you to all our veterans, but the parade is November 11th, and it is on in downtown. The route will be a little different. I think the Veterans Parade route will come up John and go back down Williams, but still in the downtown area, and would encourage you to come out November 11th at 11 o'clock. So with that, I'll sign off for this month. If you need us, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to assist or help or answer questions. So if we can do anything to help you, please don't hesitate to call.